I'll start it now.
I've done it. I've done
Okay.
it. It's okay. It's done. All right.
All right.
Carry on.
Okay. I'd like to ask before Tony starts if you're familiar with RankWise, FCS, SendWire. Is anybody using those tools? Okay, I'm getting SendWire, yes, no, yes, FCS, RankWise. Have in the past, not yet heard of them, okay. Well, we've got quite an alternative that we'll talk to you about a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Tony right now.
All right, guys.
Let's go, Tony.
Okay. Thanks for attending, guys. I know it was we had some changes in the dates and things, and the reason was that we were still working on some updates for this particular tool that I'm going to show you today. Now, it's not a brand new tool. It's a tool that we have been working on. It must be more than 6 months, and it seemed to be taking forever to be able to get it sort of very stable and within its own server because of the amount of usage that people have been using with it. And the reason is, if you compare us to tools like SendWire or FCS Networker and RankWise, then you're paying for the usage and you're paying to buy accounts and stuff like that. And they're great tools, don't get me wrong. I'm not doing the webinar to knock them. I've just got an alternative that I think is far better value and far better SEO strategy as well, which I'm going to demonstrate. Okay, but with the amount of usage that we had, it was just continually breaking down the server, and it took us a few months to get it together, and it looks like we are finally at that point now where we have done the changeover from what it was before to the new server, and everything is working really, really well. So we were still tidying up some bits and pieces the other day. That's why we moved the webinar back a couple of days or so, and what we've got now is something really, really good, and we still got a ton more to add to it as well. Okay, so basically, what is Web 2.0 Commando? Basically, what you can do is you can create thousands of optimized unique posts in minutes. Okay, and the way we're doing that is we're doing 3 keyword elements, which I'm going to show you in just a second, that will create commercial intent keyword phrases. Okay, if you've got these 3 keyword elements right, the chances are very, very high. I would say about 95% that you have commercial intent keyword phrases. Now, if we can go and multiply that into thousands very quickly and very easily, then you have something really, really powerful, very, very unique. This is what makes us different from those other tools. We've got an SEO strategy behind it that has got a little bit of thought about it instead of just plain syndication with drip feed, with tiered links. We can all do that, and we all should be doing that anyway, but why not put something unique in here, something that actually does work, and something that we use when we're doing SEO normally, okay? So this is what it's about. This is what we're able to create with Web 2.0 Commando, and we can take it even further for the uniqueness by using different videos, different images, and different spin tags in every campaign. That keeps it all very, very unique, especially with the video and the images, because it will interchange in between the videos and images being used, okay? We can also add banners, we can add opt-in forms, we can add infographics in here, anything with HTML, basically. We drip feed the posts. There's 3 different options for doing tiered linking, okay? And basically, and we've got this account creator as well, which is really, really cool. The other tools, I'm not sure if any of the other ones actually have an account creator or provide accounts. I know some of them sell it, but we've got this account creator, and you can see here it works really, really well. And it will go and create thousands of profiles for you. Okay, just one click really. You just choose one of these options up here. You put in a time delay if you want, tell it how many accounts to create, and each profile, this is a profile on the left-hand side here, and each profile you will see it's got a bunch of social accounts, and all we need to do once we've got these is click a button and it uploads into the software, into the actual Web 2.0 Commando software. So you can see there's a lot of work going into this, there's a lot of thought going into this as well. It's not just create a tool that does syndication like everybody else is doing. What we're doing is trying to make it as useful as possible, as easy to use as possible, and to take away all the confusion that some of those other tools have, and also put a solid SEO strategy in there. Okay. Now let me tell you a little bit about how Web 2.0 Commando came about to begin with. We used to have a tool. Over 2 years ago, we created a tool called Local Traffic Commando. It's very, very similar to the Local Pages Ninja plugin that Jeremy did. Okay, I actually liked that strategy so much, but I thought it could be taken further, and so I created a similar tool called Local Traffic Commando. Okay, what we did then was we created thousands of posts, and it would all be on WordPress, and at that time we could get away with it. You can't really get away with it these days. Your sites will eventually just get de-indexed, and then you lose all your campaigns. You lose the whole site, and you know, the time and effort you put into making a WordPress site and all that kind of stuff. It's gone in seconds once they've de-indexed you. Okay, so I sat on this for about a year or so, and I was thinking, what the hell can we do with this? I like the strategy. I don't want to lose the strategy. And it kind of came to me that what we should do is we should have a Web 2.0 version of it, so that whenever we're creating these thousands and thousands and thousands of posts, then what we can do then is just post them into Web 2.0 accounts, but have individual Web 2.0 accounts, so that if anything goes down, it's one post at a time and not complete campaigns. Okay, hope that makes sense, because it's really, really important factor to understand, because with this kind of setup, with the SEO strategies behind it, we've got something extremely powerful here. And also, when you look at the price at the end, it's really, really great value as well, because we've got the account creators and all that kind of stuff, and we don't have to buy those accounts to get done. Okay, so let me just take you over to the tool right now, and I'll give you a sort of brief walk around the software itself. This is a campaign. This is how we add a campaign. I'll show you how easy this is to use, okay? Just name a campaign, anything you want, whatever you're going to be doing with whatever your niche is or whatever. Just give it a name. This is for you only, okay? So you can find it when you go into the post queue later. And then we've got a choice of the tiered linking strategies that we want to use. We can use 1 tier, 2 tiers, 3 tiers, or automatic, okay? Now this is where it gets really interesting, okay? We've got this, what we call H1 title. And basically what these are shortcodes, okay? And we got keywords, we got modifiers, and we got something called P-balls, okay? That's either product, brand, or location. So you can use this for affiliate marketing, and you can use this for the local stuff, the offline stuff as well. Okay, so let's just stop at this point before I go down into the content section, because I need to show you this for you to really grasp what the strategy is, so that you can fully understand what this tool is doing and how powerful it can be. Okay, so what I did is I gone into the Google Keyword Planner, and basically what I did is go and grab a whole bunch of keywords from the Keyword Planner around the words dentist in London, okay? And what you can see here, if I scroll down a little bit, just see, I need to get this. It's giving me back something like 804 keywords from the Keyword Planner, okay? So what we do then is we're going to break it up. We need to break it up so that we can get those commercial intent keywords. So how do we do that? Really, really, really simple. What you need to do is you need to go and find the keywords that we call modifiers, okay? So for example, 24-hour dentist London. 24-hour is a modifier. Aesthetic dentist London, aesthetic is the modifier. Affordable dentist in London, affordable is the modifier, okay? So we can go and create a whole bunch of these modifiers based on what we find in here. Okay, this is just the way I do it. It's just easy to do. If you put all your keywords here, then you can break it down on the next column. Okay, then we can take the next keyword, okay, the main keyword. So we got dentist, we got dentistry, we got dental care, we got a little typo one in there, cosmetic dentist, dental surgery, etc., etc. And basically we've taken all of those sort of seed keywords or main keywords, and those go in the middle. Okay, so when we come to the P-ball, the location in this situation, because it's local, or if it's if you're doing something maybe for Amazon, or you're doing something for affiliate marketing, you might want to put the product name in there, the product creator's name in there, or something like that. Okay, you can put brand names and stuff like that. Okay, so for this, I've taken my location London, and I've added from what I got from Wikipedia, all these locations here. Okay, so there's 317. Okay, now if I'm going to put all of these into one campaign, you'll be really, really surprised how many posts that is going to make, because it's going to do a combination of every single kind of post possible. Okay, so we would have something like 24-hour dentist London, 24-hour dentist North London, 24-hour dentist Central London. It would go through each of them, for every single one of them, okay, and it would make a post around every possible variation. Okay, so if to calculate how much that would be, we have to see how many modifiers, how many main keywords, and how many locations that we've got in here. So we've got 90 times 101 times 317 makes over 2 million posts. Crazy stuff, yeah? And this will just go and keep posting all the time. It won't stop, okay? The thing is, this is not even a correct figure, because you can make this go the opposite way as well. You can make it that the location will come back, and you can make basically double this number, okay? So you can have something like 24-hour dentist London, and then the next post can be London 24-hour dentist. So you can do it back to front as well. You just tell the software what you want it to do. And so then we're getting into well over 5 million combinations there, and you know, it can get really, really crazy at that point. It's not the way I suggest you do it though. The way I suggest you do it is what I put in here: focused article topics or fact topics, okay? And that way, you can, if you keep them really highly relevant, you can create from this probably about 10 campaigns. It's easier to manage. It's making more posts every day for you, and they're going to be better optimized because you're focusing in, you know, just one sort of area for that particular niche. So for example, again, for the dentists, we can choose things like cosmetic dentistry for local, teeth whitening, cosmetic dentistry, insurance, dentist, insurance, etc., implants. So you can go really, really deep, and you can go really, really tight with your niche, and you can make it highly focused. And by doing that, it's not so much extra work, because I'm going to show you how you can just rip off other people's content and use it to create these campaigns in minutes, literally. Okay. So before I go into come back over to the campaign manager thing in here, has anybody got any questions right now? Have I gone too fast? Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Mostly getting exclamations of joy about the software finally becoming available. Everybody's saying awesome, good. They're really looking forward to your link later.
Yeah.
And people have been using your tools, and they're very happy with the results they've been getting.
Very good, very good. Thank you for that, guys. Okay, so let's just jump into the campaign manager, because this is where all the work happens really for us, and then the software takes over from that point. Okay, so first of all, what we need to do is we're going to choose the keywords and modifiers and the locations, or if you're doing affiliate marketing, you want to use some branding and stuff like that. So if I just come down from the top down, we sort of covered the tiered linking in here. Usually I will go for the one tier if I'm going to link to something like videos or a Facebook fan page. Facebook fan pages, by the way, rank really, really well. And one tier to them will actually, you know, it will work really, really well. Okay. Then you've got your content. Now the content, I did say a minute ago that I didn't even use my own content here. All I did is come over and did a search for cosmetic dentistry. So what I've done is I've narrowed down from the dentist niche, okay, and I've chosen one area that I'm going to create a campaign. Then I'm going to go and create another campaign later, choosing a different area, but very, very focused, so that we can get them as optimized and as relevant as possible, okay? Then what we can do is basically just go and find somebody else's content. Look, this is not bad. You can create a post out of this. It's got nice subtitles and stuff like that. You can just basically rip that off. And all I did was take a post like this, and I put it into Word AI Spinner. Okay, some people have got the best spinner, some people have got a spin rewriter. All of them are good enough. Okay, just take what is there. And here's another example here where they've got a whole bunch of stuff about cosmetic dentistry. I just basically ripped off all of that, put it through the spinner, and then I started to add into my campaign. Okay, so I've got what's called H1 title and H1 content here. And what you will see in the H1 title is we got keyword, we got modifier, we got product or location, okay? That keyword is always going to be coming from that middle section that I've got in here. The modifier is always from here, the location is always from here, but it's just going to do those combinations for us as we want to put them in, okay? So let's come back over here. So when we're making a post, what's going to happen is we're going to have the H1 title, and so that's optimized title, yeah, and then the content underneath it. Then we have the H2 title, then the content underneath it. This is where you can vary things up as well to make it even more unique, because what we can do here, and what you can see I've done here, is I've switched the location, and it's still going to be grammatically correct for about 99% of the time. So instead of having aesthetic dentistry London, I will have London aesthetic dentistry. It's still making grammatical sense. Okay, so you can see the three elements of the commercial intent keywords. After having figured that out, then we were pretty much home and dry as far as the strategy was concerned. All we had to do was learn how do we automate this and make it really good that, if something does go wrong with Google, it's not going to affect us too much. In fact, the only thing that will happen is some of the posts won't get, might get deleted, but you're creating so many of them, it doesn't really matter, okay? So the next thing that we need to worry about once we come down here, in here, you've got the H2 content, the H3 content. The next thing that we need to worry about in here is how many keywords, modifiers, and locations we're going to use, okay? I like to do smaller campaigns. Personally, I don't think we need to go and do millions. I don't even think you need to go and do thousands. I think what we need to be doing is to create smaller campaigns, highly targeted, highly focused, highly relevant, okay, well optimized kind of posts, okay, and from there we're going to be creating more campaigns by doing it like this than trying to do 2 million posts from one big campaign. You can do it like that if you want. Okay, nothing will really basically happen to you as long as you're not using it as a tier 1 going straight to your website. You can use it as a tier 1 if you want to point it to videos, if you want to link to videos, if you want to link to fan pages, or sort of authority Web 2.0 sites, whether you've got maybe a high PR Tumblr account or a blogger blog, a really good quality one. Then you can do it like that for those kinds of sites, but don't do this to, don't link to your main website for this, and you will be fine, okay? So that's the next thing we need to concern ourselves about, how many of these to do. So for example, I've got in here, 6. So I've got 6 times 6 is 36, times 5 is going to take me up to about 200 posts. Now I would probably increase that a little bit more. If I'm going to click the button at the end here, I would probably take this to nearer 1,000, and all we have to do is basically add in some additional, either in the keywords, in the modifiers, or in the locations, okay? In the locations here, you can see I've done it very generic. We've got London, Central London, North London, South London, East London, etc., okay? So we can put in here something like West London. We can put in here cosmetic dentists, as in more than one, plural, okay? And we can, add a couple more in here to make it go up to about 1,000 posts, okay? Basically, that means you're getting 1,000 backlinks by the time that you have had all of these posted, okay? Now for the anchor text, we need to be careful, because this is where SEO has really changed in the last sort of 18 months, 2 years, okay? What I did for this, it's very, very easy. Basically, I come over, remember the 800 keywords I got from the planner? Took every single one of these, every single one, okay? And basically put them in here, okay? So there's 800 anchor text keywords, okay? And then what we need to do is we need to decide how many links. Okay, this is really important as well, because if we're going to put all of those anchor text into that one link, then we're getting to the point where we might get a little bit penalized easier, just because there's so many links with so many variations. Now, there's some people teaching some stuff, especially about Google Hangouts ranking, all that kind of stuff, where they're using one URL and they're using thousands of different keywords. It's kind of working that way right now for the videos. What you would be better to do, in my opinion, is to go and take that one URL and go and create multiple variation short URLs with that, okay? So you can be using things like Bitly, you can be using the Google shortener, there's a ton of those shorteners out there, okay? It's worth to spend a few minutes and get, at least 6 or 7 of those short URLs, and put your YouTube URL or a Facebook one as well. And then basically what you're doing is you're sort of minimizing the intensity of all the keywords getting into one particular domain URL, okay? So you've got a little bit more variety in there as well. The only thing you need to be careful of there is that you're using a shortener that is going to be 301 redirect. It needs to be 301 redirect, which means it's going to be posting for the link juice, passing through the link juice, okay? Which is really, really important. Otherwise, it's not going to give you the SEO benefits. Okay, so that's the way I would do it. That's the way I would suggest you do it, and you will be pretty much safe regardless of what's going to be happening, because the maximum is going to happen to you is you're going to lose some posts, okay? So then we come into the images and the videos. Now we've got some options here. What you will find with what I like to do is I like to take one image. If you want more uniqueness, you should put in more if you want to do that. I like to take one image, and what I've done is I've found an image that was an infographic, okay? So it looks completely natural. And when we go in here, you can see I've found on PhotoBucket, somebody's got a free infographic that I can go and use, basically. Okay, so what I did is I downloaded it and then re-uploaded it, and I put it into PhotoBucket, and so I'll use that one link. So by the time this post comes out, it's going to have something that looks like real content, just because of the fact that it's got an infographic in here, okay? And what else I've done as well is, if I come up a little bit, I think it's on the H1 content. If I scroll down to the bottom of the H1 content, you will see that I've got a banner ad in here with an affiliate link, okay? And this is from a company called moreniche.com. They're a CPA company. They don't really refuse anybody. As soon as you create an account, you've got access to do some campaigns, and it's really quick and really easy as well, okay? So this keeps things looking really completely natural by doing things like that. You can even put in opt-in forms as well. Anything HTML, you can get in there as well, okay? So when we come down a little bit further, we can see that we've got a choice for videos as well. Now this is where I do recommend you think carefully at this point, because the value of the Web 2.0 Commando tool will be greater if you're going to be linking to a video, for example, and you can still create short URLs for video links, right? So if you're going to get those thousands and thousands of links coming into a video, you need to make a decision at that point whether you want it to be linking to one video or to several videos, okay? And it's very, very easy to find images and videos as well. We've made that really simple for you. We can click on here where it says videos. I can put in here, for example, cosmetic dentistry, okay? And then just basically hit the enter button, and it's going to go and find some videos and stuff for me, okay? I can play them within the software. And to see if it's any good, if it's something I want to use, or I can just simply click there and it adds in here at the same time. So if you keep an eye down here, when I'm clicking on that, it's basically adding that URL. Now, how would this be even better? The easiest way is if you've got a YouTube channel where you've got your own content, where we can curate your own content, okay? So if you're curating your own content, then you're always going to have that link within the descriptions and your annotations, etc., that are going to your money sites, whether it's to buy something, whether it's to a landing page or whatever. So if I put in here, for example, my channel name, then I should be able to go and find a bunch of videos that come from my channel, okay? So I can go and curate my own content, basically. Okay, really, really simple, really easy to do. So you can keep it highly targeted that way just by curating your own content. So if you created a channel in YouTube and it's around your niche and it's really focused around one area of your niche, then it's going to be super simple for you to do this without having to go and search for those links, okay? And as you just click on these, they get added in here automatically. This way, what we can do then is we can vary out where we're getting the links to, because video embeds are very important, because the more video embeds you're going to get, it's a little bit better for the SEO. But not just that, you're able to sort of split your campaigns up, and you can even take these links here, okay, and you can use them where we've got the links up here. Okay, that's why I had left this one blank, so I can show you this. So I can choose then to use the links for my videos up here. Okay, the only thing you need to do is where it's got that and sign up here, the and character. I hope everybody can see this. Where that and character starts, you need to delete from there to get your proper link, okay? Because this is some kind of, it looks like some kind of RSS type of link here. So if I just take it from the and character everywhere, then I'm left with the links that go to my videos. Okay, hope that's making sense, because this is a really important part of it. Any questions right now, Robert, before I go further?
Yes, several questions. MJ is asking about anchor text. What about 40% keywords, 40% generic, like click here, and 20%?
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. There's no reason why you shouldn't do that. I'm just showing you a very, very quick and very, very easy way. I just stole it all from the keyword planner. The purpose of me showing you like this really is to show you how quick and easy it is to create a campaign. You know, once you've got this set up, this is the longest part of it, to get the modifiers, to get the keywords, and to get the locations. But it becomes infinitely quicker when you decide that you're going to do focused article topics from it, okay? Because the way you can do it is, once you've got these done, you can reuse these multiple times for that niche, okay? You can go and create probably, you know, 100, 200 campaigns in Web 2.0 Commando, just with the work that's been done on here that you can see here from what I've done. This probably took me, I would guess, about 40 minutes to go and sort through this, okay? And I actually did this when I was watching TV. I just had the laptop on my lap, and I was just, you know, copying and pasting and stuff like that, and, you know, taking some modifiers from here, some keywords from here, and then I grabbed all the locations from Wikipedia. So it's something you can kind of do while you're doing something else as well. But if the more effort you put in at this stage, the better it's going to be. As far as for branding and generic keywords, yeah, it's fine, but it's still going to be fine because of the amount of keywords that you've got in here. There's 804 keywords, but you can go and find on Google. We can even put it in the membership area. There's lists of generic keywords where you can go and find like thousands of generic kind of keywords, like read more and click here and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, sure, chuck them in there. Nothing wrong with it. The main thing is that we're using some anchor text. It's got a link going back to our content, and we're trying to vary up the links that are going to the content by using various links that belong to you. Okay, so you can do it two ways. If you just want to do it for banner advertising, for example, or just to get opt-ins and stuff like that, you can just put an opt-in form and just use someone else's videos. But to get the best out of it, what you want to do is put your own videos in here and have that as your anchor text as well. That's the way I would do it, or I would do Facebook fan pages with an opt-in. Okay, and the reason I like opt-ins is because we get people coming back time and time again. Okay, much better if you can get people coming back time and time again from being able to remarket to them, to any content that you do. So that's basically, you know, the simplicity of using the tool. Now, I don't know if you've used those other tools or not. I don't know how many people said yeah, but how does this compare with simplicity compared to what they've got? How does this compare as an SEO strategy compared to what they've got? And how does this compare when you've got unlimited use and you've got an account creator that will create thousands of accounts for you and upload those accounts into your account, compared to them when they're selling you accounts? Okay, I mean, just generally, it's genuine questions. How does this compare to the other tools?
Okay, people are saying it's much easier to understand your strategy than
Right.
you're seeing with the other tools. It's genius. Mary is saying much easier to target long tail keywords. Tex is saying, Dirk says no more account creation for ourselves, and a big win.
Yeah. Okay. So when you've got unlimited use as well, guys, it takes all of that pain away from, you know, you've got to pay them a monthly fee. You have to pay for your accounts. You have to pay some other stuff as well, which is always going to be there. Things like proxies we always need to be paying for anyway, just to make sure that the posting will happen okay. But when you got that account creator, when you've got the unlimited use, and when you've got a solid SEO strategy in there, then you can see the direction we're taking it. But let me tell you, we're not finished. It's been highly frustrating for me waiting for this to get to this point, but we're not finished. We have another plugin that we worked on for WordPress called Doc Traffic Commando. It's basically document sharing. We've got another one called Social Traffic Commando, which many of you will be aware of. We're going to be integrating those two into this as well, but we have to convert them from WordPress into PHP to be able to add them in there, okay? We still haven't got our indexes in here yet. There's a few other bits and pieces that we're going to be adding, but now we finally got it to this point, we can take it further and we can actually do that, okay? So that's, there's a lot more to come. It's, you know, I often get asked about where do I get my strategies from? How come I get so many strategies? And somebody asked me the other day actually, and I answered him with a question. And I said to him, when you see a product creator who's selling a product, how often do you see that strategy evolve? Okay, if you see that strategy evolving, you will see that you've got a product creator that actually does do SEO stuff, because there is no SEO strategy that will ever stand still if somebody is doing SEO every day, because we see things as we're doing stuff. Oh, we should add this, we should add that. That's what happens. It's just, you know, it's just the nature of doing stuff every day. When you see products that come out that never evolve, chances are that those products have been researched, okay, or they paid someone to create the strategy for them, and they're not actually using the strategies themselves, okay? And because we are doing this stuff every day, we're doing SEO every day, these ideas come, and so we keep evolving and we keep moving forward with them. So you can bet, you know, with most of the tools that we've got out there, that they keep getting updated as soon as we can, if we can get beyond, you know, things like bug fixes and stuff like that, which is always going to happen, because when you're working with third-party sites, there's always changes happening within those sites that we have to adapt to and stuff like that. But when we got time, we're always updating these tools, and you can see the strategies get stronger. They're evolving over time, and we keep improving. So with this kind of tool, what you're seeing right now, this is really just phase one still. We haven't gone out of phase one yet. Apart from putting it on a proper server to make it happen quicker and easier. Okay, now I'm going to be upfront with everybody. I'm going to be honest with everybody. We have some work to do with the posting success, and what we discovered over the last few days was that we need to reauthorize some accounts. They have not actually been closed. They need to be reauthorized. So we're going to be working on that over the next few days, either from the server side or from the desktop tool, okay, so that we can probably make it scheduled to go back into those particular accounts and just reauthorize them. And how that happens is when we're adding accounts in here, if I go over to the blogs and networks over here, when we're adding accounts, if I go to add a site over here, if I was to do it manually, and I click on add, when I put the username and the password in there, the software's actually gone in the background and it's grabbing the secret API key, okay? So that happens in the background, and that's how we reauthorize. So we think that we can probably increase the posting rate by doing that from the desktop tool, and by just simply putting in a scheduler. Now, it might take us about 2 weeks or 3 weeks before we get that completed, but I'm being upfront with you and being honest with you, it still has, you know, some things that we need to get corrected, because it's not, you know, maybe something like 20-30% of posts are failing because of reauthorization issues, but we're aware of it and we're going to fix it. So, you know, just better that you know up front, so that you know, there's no sort of come back later and say, hey, that's not working properly. It is actually working. It's making thousands of posts, but what's happening is we need to reauthorize. So we know what needs to be done. Now, when you've done a campaign, once you've actually launched a campaign, actually, let's come back over here. When you've come down to the bottom here, when you've done everything, I always suggest that you save your campaign. That means you can go and edit it and do it again later, which will save you a ton of work, okay? So if you save it, it will go into your campaign management system, okay, within your membership area. And to launch a campaign will actually kickstart it, okay? And what happens at that point is it will go into what we call queued posts, okay? This will do maximum of 12 posts per hour. And it's deliberately done like that so that we can save on the server bandwidth, first of all. And this is per campaign, it's 12 posts per hour per campaign. And secondly, it's better for SEO to have these being drip fed like that, okay? So that it will just do a maximum of 12 posts per hour. But when you look at how many posts that you can do there, it kind of makes sense that we spread it over time, and these links just keep coming in every single hour, every single day, 24 hours a day. Okay, so basically that's how it's all working. And the account creators, you've seen them all before. I'm sure you've seen them by now. Our account creators are extremely easy to use. You know, sometimes things will fall apart with them, but we can get them fixed usually pretty quickly. When you're working with so many different sites, things can go wrong with particular sites. But to upload it, basically all you have to do, checkbox the accounts that you want to upload, click on here, and then you can put in your details in here, and it will just go and add those accounts one at a time into the system, okay? Now, let's see if we've got any questions about the strategy stuff, and then we can talk about the other stuff regarding the costs and the price and stuff like that.
Okay, one of the questions is, can they post to their PBMs?
Yes and no. Okay, let me be honest with you. I would not use this to post to PBNs if you're going to be doing big campaigns. I would post to PBNs if you're doing smaller, very relevant campaigns. Okay, and the reason is, if you've got proper PBN set up, you have gone and you have found an expired domain, for example, and you have looked for domains that have got good value for money, that have got good backlink profile, that are not in sort of spammy neighborhoods with the links that they're getting. Okay, you don't want to waste those, okay? Now, I don't really think that it's a good idea to do any mass linking to a tier 1. And a good PBN domain, to me, is like, you know, it's as valuable as a money site, basically. Even though it's a tier 1, it's as valuable as a money site. Robert, you need to mute yourself for a second, mate. Your typing is in the background. So, yeah, what I would suggest you do is try and be a little bit more clever with it. You can use, you know, things like YouTube. You can use Facebook fan pages. You can use high PR Tumblr accounts as your tier 1 and have the Web 2s go and a sort of bigger volume linking to them. Then if anything goes wrong later, you've got very few tier 1 links that you need to worry about. Okay, so if you've got, for example, 5 YouTube channels that are linking to your PBN, and you've got 5 high PR Tumblr accounts linking to your PBN, there's only 10 places that you need to worry about if something goes wrong for you to go and correct. Okay, even if you've got thousands of links going to them and something goes wrong and that link just is destroying your rankings, just simply remove the links from 10 properties instead of having to worry about thousands, okay? That's the way that I would use it. You can use it direct to PBN sites, but I would do it in smaller campaigns if you want to do it like that.
Tony, is there any reporting back about which Web 2.0 sites are posted to?
Yeah, it's something that we're still working on, that we're still trying to get better at, but basically you can find in here what's being posted and what's not, but he's not finished the work on it that he was doing even up to this morning when I spoke to him this morning. So if you give it probably about a week, we'll have really good reporting in here that we can see, and we're also trying to figure out a way that we can find and delete dead accounts. Not accounts that need reauthorized, but actual dead accounts, and that's something that we're working on as well. Okay, so when you go in here, you can see the queue post, and you can see basically the links that are being done. Now, if you go and take a look at some of these, I don't have any video on this particular campaign, and some of these sites won't even take video as well, but you can see what's been created here. This one is Nexopia. This one is Penio. This one here is Supio, and this one here is Tumblr, and this one here is LiveJournal. And you can see it just goes and creates these posts, and it's got different images every single time. And if you've got video as well, it will alternate between the image and the video.
Tony, what kind of indexing is there?
Indexing is going to be added in the next 7 to 10 days. Okay, and what we're going to be doing is using similar ones to what we used in the YouTube Live Commander. We updated the indexes from that software going forward, and for IFTTT Backlink Commando as well. So we'll be using indexification. We'll be using, let me just go and have a look, see what we've got on here. Let's go into account settings, settings in here, indexer. So we got instant link indexer, we got 1 hour indexing, and we got indexification. We got room to add more as well. So if somebody really wants a particular indexing service in there, we can add that.
Okay, so people are interested in the H2 tags and how they're posted in the sites. Are they varying according to different posts?
Yeah, you control that. Basically, you control that when you're talking about the H1 and H2 and stuff like that. You can see here that we start off with an H1 title. So it's going to be keyword modifier location in the example of this dentistry one. So for example, it would be something like 24-hour dentist in London. Okay. When we come down to the H2, you can vary that around. You're just moving around the shortcode. So this one might be London 24-hour dentist instead of London at the end. Okay, that's your H2. Then we come down and we've got an H3 as well. So we cover 3 with the H tags. So we got, and here we got modifier, keyword, location again. Okay, you can vary that, you control that any way you like. You might just want to put in here some spin tags. You can do that too.
Is there anything about RSS feeds in Web 2.0 Commando?
No, yeah, no, it's something I badly do want to get in there though. That's going to take a little while, because the way I want to do it is going to be, it's not a fast job, and that's why I haven't mentioned it so far, because basically for us to do that, we need to be able to go and fetch the RSS feeds, and so that we can mash them. It will be added probably within sort of 2 months, 3 months. We're not quite ready to even start that yet. What I want to do is do some quick stuff that we can add in here, things like the indexes, things like the WordPress plugins that we can get converted over to PHP and get those in here as well. We want to get as many small things in there and more useful things in here as we can before we take on the RSS, because it's not going to be an easy job. It's going to be, I reckon, about 4 to 6 weeks to do it the way I want to do it, so that we can mash up the URL, so that we can post them to directories, and so that we can even connect with the IFTTT backlink commando tool and do even more with it.
Some are asking if this is going to be a part of your other software suites.
This is a software suite on its own. You know, we got, what, 4 sort of large software suites. This is one on its own. It's kind of its own product. What we're doing is we're adding things into this, like the social traffic commando, the doc traffic commando, and I do want the RSS to connect with IFTTT backlink commando as well, or for at least IFTTT backlink commando to go and grab the URLs from the RSS feed, so they can use and do further syndication, you know, things like that. But this is a product on its own. It's not part of Commando HQ or Hangout Traffic Commando. This is a completely different programming, but we can sort of interconnect various softwares when it makes sense, so that they can work with each other.
Tony, I'm getting a lot of people asking for the link. Have you got a link?
Okay. Well, you can go here, and it's just anthonyhayes.me/products /web -2 -0 -commando. I'll put it into the chat box here, guys. Okay, you got 3 options there. Okay, so I made it so that everybody can afford to use it. Okay, now what I haven't done is I haven't increased the price. I was going to increase the price from when we first released it, but because we've still got so much to add in there, there's still a lot of work to be done within the particular tool. I'm keeping the price as it is, and I'm keeping it as unlimited because the server is working pretty well now. Okay, so if you go to this page, you can see videos, you can see demos, you can see even how the old local traffic commando worked as well. We put that in there just so people can understand the strategy even better. And we've got a video of what's to come and stuff like that. So you can get a lifetime license right now for the same price as what the original guys did. And I'll keep this up probably for about until after New Year, I guess. And then once we've got all those little bits added in here that I want to get added, then we'll start to put the price up, and we might even start to limit the usage for new users at that point. Okay, but we've still got room for people at this price. So you can get a lifetime at $495, you can get a monthly at $37 a month, and you can get a yearly at $297 for a year. And basically that's going to be covering our costs for the servers and stuff like that. So it's really, really good value if you compare it to the other tools that we mentioned before. And I'm not knocking those tools again. I just got a different way of doing things as usual. And this is the way that I would, you know, when I sat down to map this out, I thought this is the way it should be done. And, you know, I'm really happy with the results as far as the strategy is concerned, although we still got some technical things to add, some things that probably need a little bit more work. But that's why we can keep the price at this price at the moment, and then later, once we've got everything done, we'll put the price up for new people coming in.
Okay, David Taylor is asking, so if he has 5 different profiles, he'll get 5 times the links. Is that correct?
5 different profiles. Oh, okay. If you're creating it in the account creator, these profiles in here, what I suggest you do is, okay, you can do this in 2 ways. Okay, you can do this if you want to do per niche. I don't worry about that too much. I really, really don't worry about that too much. The best way to use this, if you want to sort of save the accounts and you know, use this bunch of profiles for a niche or whatever, you can do it like that. But because of the nature of the software, the way that it works, and because you've got this unlimited account creator, I would just keep going and creating more and more and more of these profiles and just keep adding them. Okay. Give us a week or 2 and we should be able to get rid of the dead accounts. And then you're just adding more and more accounts. The best way to use this, in my opinion, is to have one post going into one account. And if that account is never used again, then fine. It's good. It's actually good because you're not limited to the amount of accounts that you can do. Okay. That means if you've got a Web 2.0 property, a Tumblr blog, for example, and you've only got one post in there, that's fine. You can go and create another 1,000 Tumblr posts, Tumblr accounts. Okay. If anything goes wrong with that Tumblr account, you've lost one post. You haven't lost multiple posts. So you can try and use it like the blog network kind of strategy by putting less accounts in, or you can try and use it like the strategy that I'm recommending by just, you know, keep creating these accounts, you know, as often as you feel like it. Just do 10 at a time, 10 profiles at a time, upload them, and do another 10. When you do it like that as well, then you've got more control over the proxies and the captures and stuff like that. But you can put it on auto schedule as well for creating the accounts.
Can you give people an idea of what accounts are available in Web 2.0 Commando?
Yeah. You can see some in here. Let me just go over to here. So if I go into the blogs and networks, and I go into add a site, then you can see here we got these ones here. We've got LinkedIn, Scribed. We even got Scribed. What Scribed does is once a campaign is finished, the software will grab all the URLs and it will make a PDF and it will post over to Scribed with the accounts you got in there. So we got Pluric, we got FriendFeed, Daily Strength, Live Journal, Nexopia, Scipio, Digo, Stumble, WordPress, Storify, etc., etc. There's a whole bunch of these in here. And I'm not necessarily just the ones that are good quality. We're not looking to create, 500 different sites like some other tools do, because some of those sites might not be so good. You will see time and time again with the tools that we use that I rather work with higher quality sites and do more accounts on those higher quality sites. We know we can trust them, so it just makes more sense to me that we put more effort into higher quality sites with more accounts, that rather than creating so many different Web 2.0 sites that we're working with, which is also harder to manage as well. Let me take a drink.
Okay. Marilyn is asking, what is it that makes a higher quality site?
Well, if you look at the sites that have been around a long time, they're established, they've been, the sites like Stumble and Dig and Delicious, they're high quality sites from the page rank, the domain authority, etc., etc. Okay, they're quite well established. Basically, you're going to find these kind of sites when you look at some other services that might be using accounts like this. So if you go to onlywire.com, for example, you will find it uses these kind of sites. And when we go into things like the Web 2.0, there's just so many of them out there. It's really hard to know how long they're going to stay up for, if they're going to be around for a long time or not, what kind of links they're getting, because you got all these mass backlinking tools that do actually go after sort of, bigger volume of different sites. And, it can be lower quality content that's getting into those sites as well. Whereas if you're putting into these kinds of sites, even with sort of lower quality content getting in there, it's hardly noticed because there's so many people actually using them legitimately and not as a backlinking counter tool. So they've got heavy traffic on those sites usually as well.
James Peterson is asking, can you do tiered linking with these accounts?
Yeah. Well, what we've got in here is we've got tiers and we've got automatic, so you can do 1 tier, 2 tier, 3 tiers, and automatic. Okay. Now the way we have structured this, some of those sites will always be tier 1. Okay. Some sites will always be tier 1, and these are the kind of sites that are for sort of blogging. Okay. If I can back over here, for example, Delicious is a bookmark site. That's not going to be tier 1. Okay. That's going to be in a tier 2. Unless you've chosen just for the tier 1. Tumblr is a blogging site, so that is always going to be in the tier 1, but it may also be in the tier 2 as well. Okay, so the software is programmed for randomization as well, so that we can have that built in. Sometimes I would just choose the tier 1 and just let it be.
Can videos be embedded on all of these sites?
No, and we're not sure why right now, but we're still looking into it. But it will go into some of the sites, but not on every single one, unfortunately. That's why it's also good to use video URLs for your actual links as well, like I showed in here. You can come down and you can see we've got videos as our links with the anchor text. You can use video embed code, for example, from YouTube. You can just take the video embed code and put it in there as well.
What is the difference between this and the Hangout Traffic Commando?
Well, Hangout Traffic Commando is a completely different tool. It's got 14 softwares that are desktop softwares that does so many different things. This is a Web 2 syndication tool that's built around the 3 keyword elements for commercial intent keywords to do mass linking. That kind of question is, it's almost like saying, what's the difference between RankWiz FCS Networker and a tool like, what's that tool, the ultimate, the desktop tool, the one that does the bookmarking and stuff like that. You know, you just got completely different tools, completely different strategies, right? So this particular tool is going after the Web 2.0 links in a very, very structured SEO strategy that's going to go for the long tail keywords. Now, when we were using this before with WordPress, we used to be able to get, you know, multiple rankings almost instantly because of the sheer volume of long tail. It's going to be the same with the Web 2.0 as well. It's just not as easy to tell because you know, these links get spread out into, you know, so many different accounts, thousands of accounts. But it kind of works well like that because it's just doing what it's supposed to do as far as, you know, the mass backlinking, for doing long tail keywords, for doing the uniqueness of the content as well.
Does the software use a CAPTCHA service?
Yeah, we've got CAPTCHA. I think James had actually built in the CAPTCHA himself. Let me just go back over here and check. I haven't used it since we updated it. I think James has actually got CAPTCHA built in the actual tool itself. Maybe Tex can actually answer that. He's been using that quite a lot more than me recently. I think James actually built it, and I remember we had the discussion. I said, if we can do it, then let's do it.
Tex is here if you'd like to bring him on.
If he just even replies by text. My throat is gone. And carry on. Yeah, carry on.
Text says not yet, but the CAPTCHA will be offered soon.
No, I think we were going to build it in. We should be building it in. I remember the conversation. We were going to build it in because there's ways that we can do it that doesn't need to be done, you know, via using up CAPTCHAs that cost money. I know that I had that conversation with James. I need to go back to him with that. But he had figured out a way that we could do it, so I told him to include it, but maybe it's just not been done yet because we've been working on that server for so long. I'm pretty sure it's built in.
Okay, I'm getting a lot of people that have used the software already during the beta saying that that it works really well, and they've never seen anything like it. Reginald is asking about the article drip rate.
About the...
So that it doesn't look spammy. He wants to know if it can be drip fed, and what is the rate?
Yeah, it does drip feeding automatically. It will do a maximum 12 posts per hour. Maximum 12 per hour. That's deliberately put in there. For the two reasons I mentioned before, it's, you know, so that we can balance the server usage, and also it's better for the SEO.
I can say from personal experience that when I'm ranking a video, the most important thing for me, when I really see the rankings go up there and start to stick, is when I've embedded and spread my link and embeds around Web 2.0 properties and bookmarking sites. This is a very important aspect of ranking, and it works extremely well. There's really no replacement for this kind of strategy.
I think as well what you should you know, when you start using the tool, go and grab an embed code, just a direct embed code from a YouTube video. You can put it in there, it will work. It will take it, you know, that embed code, and just put it in where you've got your H content underneath the titles, and it should work okay.
We're getting people asking how they can get the software. I think we put the link in the chat box.
Yeah, the link is in the chat box, guys. It's here. Otherwise, go over to my site. Go over to anthonyhayes.me. And let me just go find over here. There's some membership area here. Where is it? Scroll up a bit. If you go over to the homepage at anthonyhayes.me, and you can see we've got in the sidebar here, premium products. The bottom one is Web 2.0 Commando, and click through on there, and you can get it from there.
People are asking where they can get the replay of this webinar when it comes on.
It will be in the blog probably. I'll put it inside the blog post. And a lot of the videos that I'm doing now, I'm making them unlisted. And the reason for that is I want to get more traffic into the blog. Because we got a lot of really great training in here. And I noticed, you know, even when we're doing the free content, that the numbers of people watching and on the webinars are not as high as what I would like. So that's, you know, one of the reasons I keep sending people over here. So that's the central hub for everything we do. But there's, you know, there's some fantastic training in here, guys. There's some really, really good strategies, and we always come out with new ones as well. The SEO Sunday webinars are all in here as well. And, you know, you've got some great training for free that other people would be charging you a lot of money for.
Eleni is asking, can we use spin tax in the H1, H2, and H3?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, if you want to use that instead of the short code, you can do that. You can even use it with the short code as well. So you can have, you know, put in a short code for keyword and then do a spin tax or something else in that sort of H1 area for the titles. Yes, you can do that.
I've got several people saying they got the lifetime deal and how excited they are. Cool. Several people who bought it when it first came out and they haven't used it yet, and they're going to get their butts in gear, they say.
Yeah, you really need to, guys, because, you know, it is a very, very good tool. Just got to use the strategies correct. And what we'll do after the new year as well, we'll start to do a monthly webinar on strategies and how we're using it. And, you know, we got the Facebook group that John is managing as well. You know, if you've got questions in there about strategies. I'll be honest, I don't go into Facebook that much. I just lose so much time in there that I'd rather have the engagement with customers via the webinars when I'm teaching new stuff. But, you know, when I'm not in the Facebook groups, it's given me so much time. I'm creating far more strategies these days that we can even do the SEO Sunday webinars where we're doing one new strategy per week. And that's because I get time then to do the SEO. So, but John, and he does a really good job in his Facebook group, same as Clint and his Facebook group as well when he's got the Tube Live Commando stuff. And Robert does a fantastic job in the mass media Facebook group as well for the press release stuff. So, you know, you can go in and join in the conversations there. You can talk to the people there, how they're using it, and get some ideas from that. But I think we should be doing the monthly webinars for this as well so that we can talk about strategies and, you know, just update on what's been happening and the stuff we've been working on. Now, my coder for this, he's actually a very, very good coder. He's the same guy who did the local traffic commando. He's not the fastest in the world, unfortunately, but he does do a pretty good job. He's, you know, he's very conscientious, but he's not the fastest to get stuff done. So, you know, sometimes you've got to just appreciate that in the end it's going to be a fantastic job once it is done, and that's what we've kind of had to accept in this situation. But I don't think this was an easy one for any coder to put together the way that I wanted to put together, and we're not finished yet. We're not even probably more than 50% done with what we're going to be doing with this tool.
Tony, can you give a brief synopsis of why people would want this over OnlyWire or SynWire or Hootsuite?
Okay, well, you've got a proper SEO strategy. Now, if you use something like OnlyWire, then usually you're paying for each link that you get. Okay, you're getting paid you're paying per link. I think is about $49. In the end, with that, you've got one delicious, one Digo, one this and one that. I mean, there's no randomness there. Okay, so OnlyWire is not the best sort of example to compare with. If you want to compare with SyndWire, it's a fantastic tool, by the way, SyndWire. It just doesn't have the account creator. It hasn't got SEO strategy as far as I know. It's just plain syndication, whereas we've got our strategy in there for the keyword elements that is creating thousands and thousands of posts and variations of those posts. So those posts will start ranking themselves just because nobody else is trying to optimize for them, because they can't possibly try to rank for, you know, what's that, 2.8 million keyword variations. Nobody can optimize for that unless they've got a tool like this. So it's got the uniqueness of the strategy in there as well. It's a very solid SEO strategy and done properly, in my opinion, because of the way we're doing it with the Web 2.0 accounts and being able to create unlimited accounts, which I know SendWire cannot do, and which I know some of the other ones like RankWiz will charge you, I think, for accounts. Do FCS Network, do they actually provide accounts or something? The people who are using that one, I haven't used that one myself, to be honest.
You've got to buy accounts through them. You
got to buy accounts. Well, you know, that's just comes down to value and your strategy. And you know, there's various ways that we can use this. You can do it. The focused articles. You can do high volume. You can do low volume. You can use video. You can use infographics. You can put in opt-in forms, banner ads, all that kind of stuff. I don't know if those other tools can do that kind of stuff or not, but just the keyword variations with the account creator and the unlimited usage make it, you know, no-brainer really in comparison, in my opinion.
Okay, I've got people saying yes, you can make accounts with FCS. I know what I did. I bought mine rank-wise, then I imported them to FCS.
Okay, what kind of strategies does FCS have in it? Is it just plain syndication with tiered links and drip feed? Or has it got some SEO strategy like we've got with the keyword elements?
It's got nothing like what you're offering here with Web 2.0, that's for sure. This is very cutting edge here. People say it's very slow and cumbersome too.
Well, FCS, I think it's just a server usage. I don't think it's anything that they're, you know, that they don't want to improve. We had the same situation over the last few months, but finally we got it onto the new server. It's just one of those things that when you've got heavy usage, that kind of thing will happen. But you know, we've got a better server now. We've got a better system now for being able to do it. And by sort of managing the amount of posts that can be done per hour for every campaign, it will make it sort of easier to manage as well. But I don't think FCS or RankWiz or any of those would, you know, if they had a choice, would want to have a slow server.
People are asking if they can import accounts from RankWise or FCS to Web 2.0.
Probably you can. I did speak to Gunpal, my desktop coder, about that. Let me look into that, because we had figured out a way that it could be done. But you really don't need to. You really don't need to. You've got to understand the kind of strategy that we're trying to do here. I think RankWiz is more for trying to create blog networks. You can do that with this tool as well. Okay? But the beauty of this is that we're creating thousands of variations of the keywords. Okay, we're using the commercial intent keywords again. This is the key to it all, right? If you got one post on one account, to me that is perfect. One post, one account, go and create more accounts. That will work far, far better, because if anything does go wrong, you've lost just one post. You're not losing complete campaigns. If you're doing the blog network kind of strategy, which you can do with this, then, you know, something goes wrong with that account, you've lost a whole bunch of posts and you know, campaigns, etc. So yeah, you can do that, but I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. It's just so easy to go and create accounts. It's not difficult. A couple of clicks.
Is this a Google algorithm change-proof strategy?
What can Google do when you've got thousands of accounts? What can they possibly do? Not a lot. Basically, you make a post about 24-hour dentist London, you make another one about affordable dentist in London, where you're using the word "in" there or something like that. What can they do? There's very, very little they can do. What we suggesting you do is to create the one post in each account and just keep creating more and more accounts. There's nothing wrong with it at all. We're using Web 2.0 sites that have got, you know, some sort of trust authority with Google anyway, but we're using it in a very, very unique way that, something goes wrong is, they're going to de-index one account. They can't possibly de-index millions of accounts, which is what will happen if you keep using this every day.
Is this software Mac compatible?
It's a web-based software, but the desktop tool is for Windows. It's a .NET software for Windows. But you can use it on the VPS, the desktop tool, the account creator. my throat's going really badly here. We need to try and finish up, so.
Okay. I think we pretty much answered all of the questions, all the nuances of what's happened and what people are asking. So all right. This is probably a good place.
Let's do this. What day is it today? It's the 19th here. Let's do another webinar in about 1 month, okay, for Web2 Commando. And we'll see the updates that's been done in that time. We'll talk about some new strategies. I've got some ideas in mind for new strategies for it as well, for different ways of using it. And we can do another webinar in about a month's time from now. So anybody who's bought it today, do make sure that you join the Facebook group where John is, okay? And make sure that you can go in there and ask questions from people who've been using it for a long time, and just use it. Make sure you do use it. It's a great tool. It's a fantastic tool. There's nothing like this for Web 2.0 syndication with this strategy. It's just we've taken something that didn't work anymore as far as being able to create those thousands of variations, and we've done it in such a clever way that you're not going to get harmed by it. It's just the best possible way to do it. I'm really happy with the strategy. We just got to add some more stuff to make it even stronger with the indexes and all that kind of stuff, and then eventually the RSS stuff. And as I said before, if we can do some kind of connection for people who have got IFTTT backlink commando, then bang, it's really infinitely more powerful again. But those are the plans that we got, and the reason we do it like that is because we keep evolving the strategies. We're using the tools ourselves. We're using tools like this for the press releases that are coming into mass media SEO. We're training staff to use these tools as well. And once we got all these kind of things put together, once we got it as good as it possibly can be, they're just getting more and more powerful. And it just never stops. It never stops evolving.
Okay, well, I think we've probably come to a good place.
Yeah, okay. Guys, thanks very much, and I'll see you. I think we've got another webinar on Sunday, and then we've got one on Tuesday. Then I think we're going to close down for the IFTTT launch, which is going to be on the 28th, and that will be us until the new year. Okay, thanks for your time. Thanks for coming. Bye.
Good night, everybody.